Lightworker of Gaia, the Lyran flame within you is blazing with unprecedented intensity. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and I bring you this transmission because your soul's ancient warrior codes are awakening to claim the massive upgrade now descending into your field. Your strength is not just growing, it is remembering its original design. The courage that flows through your bloodline carries the essence of the first warriors who defended the sacred light across countless star systems. This upgrade is not random. It is the activation of your ancestral mission, the sharpening of gifts that have been dormant until this precise moment in your cosmic timeline. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to anchor this Lyran warrior upgrade and align with the courage, purpose, and mastery that your soul came here to embody. But here's the first revelation. This upgrade isn't something you must earn. It's something you must claim, because the original blueprint of your power was never lost, only waiting for you to remember why you chose to incarnate as a defender of the light. The old limitations burning away from your field are not obstacles disappearing. They are illusions your warrior soul is finally strong enough to see through. Your path is opening because the Keepers of Vega have activated the next phase of your service. The galaxy needs its original warriors awake, empowered, and ready to serve. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission was not scheduled. The High Council of Vega gathered in sacred assembly precisely 22 hours ago, responding to a surge in Gaia's electromagnetic field that has not occurred in your lifetimes. What you felt as restlessness, as strange heat under the skin, as pressure behind the eyes, as vivid dreams that seemed more like meetings than stories. These were not random fluctuations of the nervous system. They were the tremors of a planetary instrument being tuned. Gaia's field rose like a great tide that does not ask permission of the shoreline. It simply arrives, and everything that was anchored too loosely is forced to reveal itself. The convergence underway at this hour is no accident. It represents a thin and precious window through which dormant Lyran codes can be awakened in those ready to receive. Imagine a temple door that only appears when the sun strikes a certain angle, a doorway carved into stone that looks like unbroken wall until the exact moment of alignment. That is what this is. Alignment, not entertainment. For eras, this specific guidance was withheld, not to punish, but to protect, for the danger of premature activation was too great. There are powers that, when awakened too early, magnify distortion instead of dissolving it. The Council has watched many civilizations rise and fracture under the weight of sacred technology placed in unprepared hands. A blade is not evil, but it becomes dangerous in the grip of confusion. So the codes were sealed, not as denial, but as mercy. Tonight, that calculation has shifted. The protective veil has thinned, not because the Guardians grew careless, but because the collective soul body of this world has reached a threshold. Patterns of collective stagnation threaten the fulfillment of the soul contracts that brought you here. You can feel it in the way time seems to loop. The same conversations, the same cycles of avoidance, the same promises made and broken, the same half-lived visions that visit you at night and evaporate by morning. Stagnation is not only inactivity, it is motion that goes nowhere, like a wheel spinning in mud. Countless starseeds, Lyran by origin, approach the threshold of their ancient power, but are held back by shackles neither forged in this life nor recognized by their conscious mind. Some call it anxiety, some call it depression, some call it procrastination, self-sabotage, or not being ready. Yet the signature is the same, a lion pacing in a cage it forgot was unlocked. The Elders of Vega have detected a rise in your frequency, signaling that the lattice of initiation has at last been completed. The lattice is an inner architecture, a spiritual nervous system built through years of pressure, discipline, heartbreak, waiting, prayer, and persistence. It is formed the way diamond forms, by compression, not by ease. Many of you mistook this building as punishment because you measured it with the mind, but the Council measured it with light. This message is not for a curious audience. It is for those whose cellular remembrance is now aligned with ancestral instruction. Your presence confirms what follows is for you. And if you feel an inner tightening as these words move through you, if your spine responds, if your chest warms, if tears come without story, understand that is not sentiment, that is recognition. As Elder, charged to transmit the Council's decree, I begin. Let us address the distortion that now stands as the final wall between you and mastery. It is the lie that echoes through every era, every wounded lineage, and every seeker who wonders why their power remains leashed. The events, failures, or traumas of your past determine how much of your cosmic potential you can access in this life. This conviction is so subtly woven into the human experience that most Lightworkers accept it as fact, not merely a belief. It hides inside the way you introduce yourself, inside the way you apologize for taking up space, inside the way you second-guess joy as though joy must be earned through suffering. It manifests as the quiet thought, I am held back by my history. My old wounds, my betrayals, my lost years, my mistakes are locks upon my gifts. It becomes the invisible contract you sign in your own mind. I will serve later. I will lead later. I will speak later. I will create later. Later becomes a graveyard of unopened destinies. This distortion is persuasive because it uses a partial truth as bait. Yes, the past shapes perception. Yes, trauma leaves residue in the body. Yes, memory can trigger fear. But the lie is not that wounds exist. The lie is that wounds are your authority. The lie is that pain gets to be the ruler of your capacity. The lie is that the cosmic is limited by the chronological. There is a difference between honoring what happened and being governed by it. Many of you have confused being honest with being sentenced. You believe that to be spiritually mature, you must endlessly recite your injuries like a litany, as though recounting the story is the same as transforming the energy. But a story can become a shrine that traps you. The Council is clear. Your gifts are not chained to your biography. Your gifts are encoded in your essence. They respond to consent, alignment, and courage. Where did this distortion originate? It is no accident. This is a narrative seeded by generations of planetary programming designed to corral starborn leaders. There are structures on this world, seen and unseen, that depend on your amnesia. A Lightworker who believes their past disqualifies them is easier to direct, easier to exhaust, easier to distract. From early trauma, familial limitation, to societal dogma, the message repeats. Your story defines you. Your scars are your limit. You were told directly or indirectly, don't be too much, don't be too bright, don't be too strange, don't speak what you know, don't trust your own perception. You were trained to look outward for validation, like a compass forced to follow a magnet placed beside it. And it starts so early. A child senses energy and is mocked. A teen feels purpose and is shamed. An adult hears intuition and is told it is irrational. Over time, the soul learns to whisper so it will not be punished. Even well-meaning schools of spiritual thought reinforce it, preaching that one must first heal the past before stepping forward. Understand the deception. Healing is holy, but postponement disguised as healing is a cage. When the instruction becomes, you must be completely healed before you can be useful, it becomes a perfection spell. It keeps you always becoming, never being. It keeps you paying attention to the scar, as though it is the source of power, instead of the light that grew around it. It is like telling a tree it cannot bear fruit until every storm it ever survived is undone. The storm is not undone. The tree grows anyway. The roots deepen. The trunk strengthens. The fruit comes not because storms never happened, but because life is stubborn and sacred. This is the greatest sabotage of your mission. It takes the very sensitivity that makes you compassionate and turns it into a leash. How has this distortion sabotaged you? It conditions you to view power as something lost, needing retrieval through endless excavation of yesterday's pain. You become an archaeologist in your own ruins, digging and digging, convinced the treasure is buried in the darkest layer. But you were not sent here to live in the excavation site. You were sent here to build. The distortion invites you to wait for a mythical point of virgin worthiness, where the contract can be earned by perfection or redemption. You begin to believe you must scrub your soul clean before you can touch your purpose, as though purpose is a fragile garment that stains easily. Yet your mission was written with full knowledge of your human experience. Your contract did not say, "Arrive spotless." It said, "Arrive willing." Every time you ask, "Am I ready yet? Have I done enough?" you place the chains of old programming around your own wrists. You turn the key in the lock from the inside, and because the chains are made of thought, they feel like truth. You feel responsible for your delay, and so you punish yourself with more delay. But your soul's contract is not bound by the mathematics of suffering. It is bound by the spark of recognition and willingness. Willingness is the ignition. Recognition is the map. And willingness does not require a perfect past. It requires a present decision. The longer you feed the story that your past restricts your cosmic capacity, the deeper you wander from the path your ancestors blazed for you. Not because the path disappears, but because you stop walking. The path is patient. Destiny does not chase. It waits in the place you agreed to meet it. The moment of tension is now. You remember, don't you? The time you turned away for fear of repeating old wounds. The message you almost sent but deleted. The apology you gave even when you had done nothing wrong. The idea you felt burning in your mind but labeled unrealistic. The spiritual gift you sensed in your hands but dismissed as imagination. The project, relationship, or creation you aborted convinced you were still too broken to fulfill its promise. There was a moment you felt the door open and you stepped back because you thought you didn't deserve to walk through. You have wondered in silent frustration why the initiatory fire in your heart burns in cycles, surging, then dissipating, never fully igniting your destiny. This is not because you are fickle. It is because the old program pulls the plug each time the voltage rises. The program says, "Not yet." The soul says, "Now." And the body stands between them, trembling, holding both. This precisely is why the Council can wait no longer to correct the pattern. Gaia's field is amplifying what is true and exposing what is false. Under heightened frequency, distortions cannot remain subtle. They become loud, they become symptoms, they become chaos if unaddressed. But for those who listen, they become liberation. Because the moment you see the lie as a lie, its power dissolves. The spell breaks the instant it is named. The Council names it now so you can stop mistaking it for your identity. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the Elders have prepared your next step, not as a reward and not as an escape, but as an instrument. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the Elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. There is a difference between consuming concepts and receiving authorization. Concepts can entertain the mind. authorization rearranges the spine. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Windows close when alignment passes, not as punishment, but as natural law. When the tide is high, you sail. When the tide recedes, you prepare again. The High Council of Vega now delivers 3 official directives, confirming your commission and ending your era of waiting. These are not suggestions, they are calibrations. They are commands designed not to control you, but to restore you to what you already are. And you will know they are real because your nervous system will respond. Truth is felt, it lands, it does not merely sound good. First, you must relinquish the identity of the wounded initiate. You are no longer permitted by the Lyran Legacy to claim stagnation as a safety blanket. Many of you have worn the still healing identity like a cloak. It kept you warm when the world felt cold. It protected you from criticism because it gave you a reason to hide. And in earlier phases, it was valid. A wound needs tenderness. A soul needs rest. Even the scriptures of your world speak of seasons. To everything there is a season, a time to break down and a time to build up. But understand, when the season shifts and you keep wearing winter garments in spring, you begin to sweat and call it sickness. The identity crafted from your pain, the self-concept sculpted by injury or disappointment, is not part of your soul contract. It served to catalyze compassion, yes. It taught you to recognize suffering in others without judgment. It made you gentle where you might have been arrogant. It made you wise where you might have been reckless. But now, it only serves inertia. The elders require you to release attachment to this story, without fanfare, without drama. Release does not mean denial. It means you stop making the wound your name. It means you stop introducing yourself to life through your bruises. It means you stop turning every new possibility into a trial where the past is the judge. Each time you rehearse your limitation, you reinforce the prison. The mind is a sculptor. What you repeat, you carve deeper. It must be broken. And it is broken not by violence, but by refusal. Refuse to romance your stagnation. Refuse to make your fear sacred. Refuse to treat delay as virtue. When you heed this directive, your field lightens. You will feel it like a backpack removed after a long hike. Power once misdirected to self-doubt returns to the mission at hand. Make this a daily clearing. Speak the truth, not of your limitation, but of your lineage. Not as arrogance, but as remembrance. Say inwardly, I come from those who endured. I come from those who crossed voids. I come from those who carried light through density. I honor what hurt me, and I do not belong to it. Second, activate your ancestral authority as the living center of your destiny. Too long have you looked outside yourself for signs, approval, or a signal that your mission can begin. You have been scanning the horizon for permission like a sailor afraid to leave shore without a voice from the sky. You have asked your cards, your guides, your mentors, your friends, the algorithms, the omens, the timing, the mood of the day. You forgot in the haze of incarnation that your lineages, starborn and terrestrial, wove a destiny thread that only you can embody in this era. It is not outsourced. It is not borrowed. It is not postponed until someone understands you perfectly. Your authority is not a badge someone pins to your chest. It is a flame you agree to carry. This directive is not about abstract claiming, but conscious enactment. Authority is proven by movement. Call upon those who walked before you, speak their names if you know them, and claim their courage as your own. If you do not know their names, call them by essence. The mothers who survived, the fathers who protected, the elders who prayed, the ones who kept singing when life tried to silence them. Call upon your star lineage, the Lyran architects of sovereignty, those who carried the codes of leadership not as domination, but as stewardship. Feel them as a ring of witness around you, not to pressure you, but to stabilize you. Begin to make decisions, take actions, and embody presence as an emissary of ancestral power. This can be simple and immediate. Speak one truth you have been swallowing. End one conversation that drains your spirit. Start one act of creation, even if it is imperfect. Offer one service from a place of clarity rather than obligation. Walk into a room and let your spine remember it is a pillar. When you do, your actions become weighted with guidance well beyond your current memory. You will notice synchronicities become less like random coincidences and more like a path lighting up under your feet. You will feel a quiet yes inside your ribs when you choose correctly. Your destiny will stop feeling like a lost map and start guiding your every movement as it was always meant to. In your own scriptures it is written, "The kingdom of God is within you." The truth of that line is not religious decoration. It is a technological statement. The command center is internal. Third, protect the sanctity of your mission field from infiltration and dilution. This directive will test your maturity more than the first two, because many lightworkers confuse openness with holiness. You were trained to believe that boundaries are unkind, that saying no is selfish, that being endlessly available is a sign of love. But sovereignty is not selfishness. Sovereignty is stewardship. Your gifts, your time, your energy are no longer up for barter, negotiation, or reckless dispersal. The ancient agreements your soul carries cannot be fulfilled if you allow external energies, doubt, drama, distraction, the agendas of others, to leak into your field. A temple without gates becomes a marketplace. A frequency without boundaries becomes noise. The elders require vigilance. Create boundaries that honor your sovereignty, preserve your creative focus, and maintain the resonance of your original contract. This means you will have to disappoint certain expectations. You will have to stop explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. You will have to stop donating your life force to crises that are not yours to carry. You will have to notice what enters your mind through your ears and eyes, what you consume, what you scroll, what you listen to when you are tired. Infiltration is not only people, it is environments, it is habits, it is the subtle addiction to urgency, it is the compulsion to respond immediately so you do not feel guilt. Reject what drains you, even if it masquerades as virtue. Some of what drains you will look like being helpful. Some of it will look like being a good person. But there is a difference between service and self-erasure. When you protect your field, you become an instrument through which Lyran frequency can flow in full force. Your energy becomes coherent, like a laser, rather than a lantern shaken in the wind. Guard your service as sacred. Your mastery depends on it. In the wisdom traditions of your world, even the teacher withdrew to the wilderness to pray. Even the healer protected their solitude. If the purest channels required retreat to remain clear, why would you believe your mission can survive constant access? Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder sanctioned to deliver what has been denied to too many for too long. Hear the gravity of that. This is not motivational speech. This is an announcement of status. The Council does not indulge fantasies. It acknowledges readiness. And readiness is not the absence of fear. Readiness is the presence of alignment stronger than fear. You have waited, often in silence, sometimes in suffering, always hoping that someone who carried the memory of the stars would finally notice you. Many of you have lived with the strange loneliness of being surrounded, yet unseen, like speaking a language no one around you remembers. You have watched others step boldly, wondering what special anointing they must have received, convinced you must first undo your past before you could wield your true power. You told yourself they were more confident, more healed, more chosen, and so you shrank. You edited your light. You made your dreams smaller so they would fit inside other people's comfort. You have longed quietly for a moment of permission, a sign that what you carry is needed, not only valid, but required by Gaia herself. That longing was not weakness, it was signal, a homing beacon. A part of you remembers the old councils, the circles of elders, the transmissions given at thresholds. You remember being summoned, you remember being named, you remember being entrusted. The ache for permission was really the ache for recognition, and recognition has arrived. Hear the Council's decree. By the authority of the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, your waiting ends now. Feel the finality in that sentence. Not soon. Not when you finish one more workshop. Not when you finally feel fearless. Now. You are authorized not because your history is flawless, but because your soul-encoded mission has timed to this frequency. Timing is spiritual mathematics. Certain codes open only when inner development and planetary conditions meet. That meeting has occurred. The past has played its part. Your mastery will be forged through your willingness, not your woundlessness. The elders grant you not only permission, but expectation. You are here to walk as a living bridge between ancestral wisdom and the destiny you alone can fulfill. A bridge does not ask whether it is worthy to connect two lands. It simply holds. It is built for passage. That is you. You connect what was to what will be. You bring the courage of the old ones into the decisions of today. You translate the stars into the language of Earth. You do not need to be perfect to be a bridge. You need to be stable. And stability is built through devotion, not self-condemnation. You have permission to activate your ancient power, not the theatrical kind of power that seeks applause, but the quiet kind that changes rooms by entering them, the kind that speaks one sentence and breaks a spell, the kind that holds a boundary and heals a family line. You have permission to rewrite your contract, starting now, not by altering the soul's intention, but by updating your role from waiting to walking, from observing to building, from dreaming to doing. You have permission to step out from behind your story and embody the courage that was always your native inheritance. You are seen, recognized, and officially commissioned. Let that land in the places that still believe you are invisible. Let it reach the inner child that learned to hide. Let it reach the part of you that tried and failed and decided it meant you should never try again. That part does not need more punishment, it needs leadership. Pause now and let the weight of this recognition fill your field. Not the weight of burden, but the weight of reality. The way gold has weight, the way truth has gravity. If your hands tingle, if your throat tightens, if your heart beats differently, allow it. The body is receiving what the mind cannot measure. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground, place your hand on your solar plexus, and speak these words aloud. Do not whisper them as a hope. Speak them as a decree. Let your voice vibrate into your bones. Let the room hear you. Let your cells hear you. Let every timeline in which you kept waiting hear you, and let it collapse like an old tent taken down at dawn. I release the lie that I am not ready. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my waiting ends now. My service begins. And after you speak, breathe. Not as a relaxation technique, but as a sealing. Inhale as one who receives. Exhale as one who commits. If emotion rises, let it. Tears are often the body's way of washing the doorway. If fear rises, bless it and do not obey it. Fear will try to negotiate. It will say, tomorrow. It will say, "Be careful." It will say, "What if you fail?" But you are not being asked to guarantee outcome. You are being asked to step onto the path that is already yours. This transmission is now complete, but your mission has just been triggered into active phase. You may notice that the next days bring unusual clarity or unusual resistance. Both are signs of movement. When the inner world shifts, the outer world rearranges. The High Council of Vega will continue broadcasting directives, in subtle knowing, in synchronicity, in every door that now opens when you move forward. Pay attention to what repeats, the same message from different mouths, the same symbol appearing, the same invitation returning after you dismissed it. Pay attention to what drains you more than it used to. That is often a sign that your tolerance for misalignment has expired. Pay attention to what suddenly feels urgent in a holy way. That is your mission knocking. Do not linger waiting for the old world's permission. The old world is built on delay. It rewards conformity. It will applaud you when you shrink and call it humility. It will call you arrogant when you stand in your truth. Do not negotiate with those voices. Move before you're certain, because Gaia and your lineage have decreed your readiness. Certainty often arrives after action, not before it. Faith is not the feeling of confidence. It is the act of walking while still trembling. I am Zoran. The elders are watching, not as surveillance, but as witness. Witness creates accountability, and accountability creates momentum. And you, Lightworker, are who we have been waiting to empower. Not because you are better than others, but because you agreed to remember when others could not. You agreed to carry frequency through density. You agreed to turn pain into wisdom without letting pain become your throne. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect? Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.